All right, we're going to see how we get with the music I've been writing on Mondays. So first off, I'm going to give everyone a listen here of what I've got. This is music I'm writing for the D&D campaigns run on Twitch channel that I'm part of, which is P4 Podcast. This is supposed to be travel and music. So that's where I've gotten so far. I may not do an awful lot today, but I want to show, for anyone trying to learn, the importance of being consistent, and I have designated Mondays to be my composing days. It was a long weekend. I've been tired. I ended up taking a nap yesterday, which is not common for me. So we're going to see what we can get done here. First, I'm going to talk about what I've got so far for anyone who hasn't tuned in before or hasn't watched the archives on YouTube. So we've got this opening motif. That's our opening 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish measure melody. And then from there we move into a duet. And that's where we get into this next 4 measure bit. And then we start with that original motif. And that original little 5-6 measure melody is repeated over the chord progression we had on this part right here. But at the beginning, we heard that with a tonic triad, just the D minor triad. And our first cadence is right here. Our first moment of, oh, okay, we've arrived somewhere. And then from there, we actually get a bit of a chord progression. Sounds like this. And that's when we get our chord progression. So 6 measures of, we've got this 5 measure D minor chord, followed by heading into an elided, an elision of a cadence point here. And that's when we hear clearly this is our arrival point. And then we get a bit of a chord progression here of D, G, D, C, D, G, D, C. From there we do B flat, C, B flat, C, B flat, C, B flat, C, B flat, C. And it gives us a rocking motion. But occasionally, instead of a C, E, G chord, I throw in an A in place of the G itself, which gives us a minor chord quality, and it's kind of a longing sort of sound. And it's less longing here. Whenever I use the G in place of the A causes the chord to be a minor chord inverted. It's an ACE chord with C on bottom. So that gives us a bit of a longing. But when I have the G, then it gives us more of a finality to it. So listen to what happens here where we have a C chord here, and an A minor chord here, and then a C chord here. I've chosen the dissonance of GA. I've chosen that dissonance of the second just because this is sort of a moment where we're going to grow a little bit. I don't want to get too crazy with this and just keep growing and not really have a form to it, because this is supposed to be somewhat passive travel music. So I want it to be just pretty, a bit of longing, a bit of adventure, excitement, but more tepid than a big, huge, heroic moment. So now here's where I'm thinking about what I want to do. And this track is mostly oboe and horn. Okay, so my idea was we had this little motif right here. And what I want to do here is give us somewhere new to go. Bring the horn up to scale degree 5, which is a big heroic note to be on. It gives us somewhere to go. I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to state this melody again. I'm going to give the oboe something else to do that builds off of that. What I'm coming up with here is some way to elaborate on the melody without saying the melody a third time. Okay, now I'm going to unmute for a second so you can hear what I've got going on here. And this should make more sense. I'll add my phrase marks later. The bass part should make this make a little bit more sense to you. So what we've got here is going up in the bass. And then going down. Question is, what am I doing with the higher instruments? But first I'm going to get my dynamics and everything, get all my markings in place. I'm gonna have that carry over on the bar line for a second. I'm gonna have this kiss beat 3, just like I did earlier with the French horn. Now listen to this with the ascending then descending bass line. this could use a bit of work on the shaping. Yeah, we're gonna start decrescendo here and see how this sounds. Maybe I do held notes for this. Having a bit of a conundrum here because I want to have this high note up here, then I want to bump it down, but it's putting me in an awkward position for how to voice this chord. So I think I'm going to have to go from an open structure chord to a closed structure chord. So what I'm going for here is I've got this bass part moving upwards in steps. And if you don't know what those things mean, then you should probably come to my Friday lectures. On Fridays around 2 Central, I teach the basics of music and then put them on YouTube. But anyway, I'm going to have the bass step up. I'm going to have a mix of chords that relate to the bass note in some way, or I'm going to have the chord be a little bit more neutral sounding and spread out. For anyone who's music savvy, I'm going to have a 1-6-4 here. Passing 1-6-4 between a 4 chord and a 4-6. Then we're going to have a 5-6 minor. Then we'll go back to minor 4 to a 1-6 to a 2 half diminished root position to a 5 major. So it's going to have a very it's a sense of finality while also wanting to push ahead to the next moment because that's an arrival point that's not a tonic triad. So here's what it should sound like, and maybe I'll be surprised in a bad way. Okay, yeah, I think I can get away with having a repeated note here. Yeah, let's try that. I don't like the quacking on that note. Wonder if I don't do a pizzicato on that measure, and also don't do piano there. See what happens. Yeah. So there we go. Another 8 measures, just like I did last time. I did 6 measures and did some touch-ups. So what we should be hearing is a bit of a shimmer. Got these little shimmer here, but we're gonna move on to this more like static sort of shimmer. So this is a good moment where I can pause and then create some new material. So that's what we'll do next time. So just for posterity's sake, here is all that I've got so far.